Hey guys, what's up? It's Hope, and this is actually video 2 of week 47 Postop VSG update. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery on July 1st, 2013, and it has been 47 weeks ago today for me. And if you haven't already seen video 1 of week 47, go back and watch that one. This is just a continuation of my update for this week. I had a lot to talk about, so I wanted to make sure and do 2 videos so that way they weren't like super long and I could post both of them. So my last video I talked about the numbers. I had a 3-pound loss this past week, which I was super excited about. I'm officially at 193, and then I talked a little bit about the foods that I've been eating, and then all about my NSVs that I'm having right now, which are pretty much every single day. This new life that I'm living, this new body that I'm in is something that I'm definitely so grateful for. So go back and watch video 1, and this video I'm gonna talk a little bit about just some stuff that happened last week. I had a very special night on Thursday night, and I want to talk about that and how different this year was as opposed to last year. And then we went out of town this weekend, and there were just a ton of really exciting things happening, and so I wanted to make sure and talk a little bit about that too. So this is video 2. Last week I had to go back to my hometown. I talked a little bit about this in previous videos. I was married once before to my high school sweetheart. We were together for a little over 4.5 years. We were married for 1.5 years, and he very suddenly passed away. And I go back to our high school every single May and present a scholarship in his memory to very deserving students that are graduating each year. And so it's something that I feel like is so important to me to allow his legacy to continue on. And he was such an amazing person, and my biggest fear is that he'll be forgotten. And so I want to make sure that, you know, his legacy lives on, and people who would have never had the chance to meet him know who he is, and you know, just they share in his same dream of making a difference, and he always wanted to do that. So it's my way of making sure that continues to happen. And so this was my 4th year to do it, and he's been gone for 5 years. And so I do this every year in his memory. And so last year I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be my last year I do this, you know, in this body. And I'm always just really self-conscious because I have to get up in an auditorium full of, you know, 100 people and give a speech about him. And I never let my fear get in the way of not doing it because it is so important to me. But I was excited to see how this year was going to go because I am more confident. I'm more confident in this body and who I am as a person. And I knew it was going to be different, but it was amazing. Like, normally I'm like super nervous, and I really was super nervous, but I was really confident too. Like when I remember walking up to the podium, and just put my shoulders back and walked up there just so proud to be able to share Brandon's story with a whole new group of people, and to be able to present the scholarships to 2 new amazing recipients. And my speech has talks a little bit about, you know, just making a difference and talking about who Brandon was. And I didn't stutter, I didn't stammer, I didn't go, you know, I just went through my speech, and I just felt so confident and so amazing. And I felt like this was a humongous NSV because last year I just remember, and even the years before that, I remember being just super self-conscious and, you know, just being so full of fear that, you know, everything was going to go wrong, and I was going to stutter, and I wasn't going to get the speech out, or I was going to cry. And I mean, this year it's always emotional going back to our high school, just because Brandon and I share so many memories there because we were high school sweethearts, and it's a small town, and, you know, everyone knows our story. And it's just really hard being back on the campus of the school because we do have so many memories there. So it's always really emotional for me. But it was really cool to feel how confident I was, and just to feel so amazing about sharing his story, and not let like my mind tell me that it was going to go bad, or tell me that I couldn't do it because of my body or because of how I felt. And so I felt like that was a huge NSV. So just like more self-confident about just who I am as a person. And I felt like that was huge, and I wanted to make sure and share it. Another thing is, this past weekend we went out of town. My best friend from high school is actually getting ready to have her first baby. She will be here in a couple of weeks, and so she wanted to go, my friend wanted to go on just one last trip as friends, and thankfully her husband is actually best friends with my husband, so it was a couple's trip, and we went about 4.5 hours away to San Marcos, Texas, which is right outside San Antonio, about an hour from San Antonio, I guess, and I love going to San Marcos. My sister, I've talked about her a lot in my other videos. We are super close, and I used to go out there a lot when she was going to the university. Texas State University is located in San Marcos, and she actually graduated from there with her undergrad and her graduate degree. And so we spent a lot of time just going trips out there to visiting her. But it was my first trip to get to go with my husband, and it was my first trip really to go as friends, to go do something fun. And so we had so much fun. We had a weekend packed full of all these amazing things to do, just to kind of soak up our time together before her sweet baby girl gets here. And so it was so much fun. And we were like on our feet walking. And we went shopping, and we went to a movie, and we did, all these different things. This was actually my first time to go to a movie post-op, and let me tell you, there was so much room in that chair. I could not even believe it. Like, I was like, my legs were crossed, my husband had his arm wrapped around me. I mean, there was so much room in that seat, I just couldn't even believe it. So that's a humongous NSV. We went out to eat a lot while we were there, and I talked about in my previous video, just making sure you always make good choices no matter where you are was so important. I definitely feel like the walking helped with my loss this week, because, we were walking every day. It was a 3-day weekend because of Memorial Day weekend, and so we got to spend, Saturday night, Sunday night, and then all of Monday there. And we just had so much fun, and I didn't have to worry about my feet hurting or my feet getting tired or having to sit down a lot. I had so much energy, and it was just so amazing to be able to go and have so much fun with my friend, my best friend, and her husband, and Andy and I had such an awesome time, and there were just so many NSVs, and I finally got some Quest bars, yay! I was so excited. My husband said, we were in Old Navy, and my husband said, well, hold on, no, we were in another store. We were somewhere, and my husband was like, hey, I'll be right back. He had spotted a Vitamin World, and he went and got me some Quest bars, which I was super excited about, because I've been out for 3 weeks. But anyway, we had such a good time on this trip, and just having the energy to be able to go and do and not have to worry about my feet swelling and not have to worry about being tired was just so awesome. But there was just so many NSVs. We just had so much fun. Speaking of Old Navy, I bought my first ever pair of Old Navy jeans while we were there. I've never been able to wear Old Navy clothes. And so that was really cool to be able to buy a size 14. Size 14 Old Navy jeans, which I'm still trying to wrap my mind around because that's just so crazy. And what else? Oh, so let me talk about the Quest bars really quick. Like I said, my husband got me some more Quest bars on Saturday, and I could not have been more excited. And already this morning I can tell a difference. I had a Quest bar for breakfast, was not hungry afterwards, didn't eat at all until I'm fixing to eat this for lunch. This is my lunch today. And I really do feel like that's had something to do with all of these hunger issues I've been having, just not being able to feel that hunger need. And I just don't think it's a coincidence that when I get Quest bars and I eat one this morning, I'm fine. I'm full. And I know it has tons of protein and tons of fiber, and I really like that. I feel like that has something to do with it. So I'm so grateful to have the Quest bars back. I definitely am going to try and use them sparingly and not go through so many a day. I was there for a while. I was eating 2 a day, 2 or 3 a day. And I don't want to rely on them as heavily as I was before, but eating them for breakfast is definitely something that I'm going to continue to do because it just helps so much with not being hungry all the time. So I definitely recommend Quest bars if you have not had them yet. The cookies and cream is absolutely my favorite. It is awesome. 21 grams of protein. I think that is all for my week 47. And I'm sorry I had to split this into like 2 different videos, but I had so much to talk about, so many NSVs happening, a 3-pound loss, which is so crazy. I'm so excited about where I am on my journey right now. I do have 2 quick shout outs. I know that Bonnie RNY is getting ready to have her surgery on May 28th. That is this week. I think it is on Wednesday or Thursday. So I wanted you to know that I'm praying for you. Good luck with everything. I know you're going to do amazing. And then My Big Adventure, that's her YouTube name on YouTube. She just recently had her surgery, and so I wanted to make sure and let her know that I'm praying for her too. I know there are a lot of people right now that are having surgery or just had surgery, so please know that I'm praying for all of you. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm here to help. I love helping people, just giving you advice. So don't ever feel like you're bothering me. Just feel free to message me or email me or post your comments or questions down below, and I would be more than happy to help you out. I could not be more grateful for all of the help that I've gotten from people who are farther out in their journey. They're all just huge inspirations for me, and I just am so grateful to have the support I have on YouTube and on Facebook and Instagram. And I just am so grateful to all of my followers out there who continue to follow my journey each week. And I will see you guys next week for week 48. Y'all have an awesome week. Talk to you soon. Bye.